The CEO stood up and goes, that would have normally taken us 3 months.
3 months. Months.
We did it in 1 hour.
Let me give you a use case. We have 5 franchise brands at Homefront Brands. I'm going to bring in the entire brand support team, which is between 6 and 9 people per brand. And I was going to do a 4-hour Blue Ocean strategy session just to check in on strategy, run through all of the Blue Ocean processes, which I've used since the late 90s to build businesses and to identify niches in the marketplace. I could throw all of that away. I could put my chat, which I have the advanced chat, and I've been building inside of it. So it's getting to know me and has been getting to know me. And I could use this CRIP methodology and just work as a group and be interviewed by chat to come up with the strategy and just use that as a basis for the entire meeting.
So I'll tell you what we've done with this. This is crazy. You think about the old way of doing offsites.
Yes.
You pull the team off site, you get your Sharpies, you get your sticky notes, you might even have a facilitator. They ask what is our Blue Ocean strategy? And everybody's writing their ideas down on sticky notes and they're getting them on the wall and you see everybody's thoughts super fast and you have a conversation about the alignment.
Guilty, guilty, guilty.
Yeah. That's dead. That's dead. That's the old way. Here's the challenges with that model. And by the way, I used to be the guy facilitating those things for the last decade of my life. That was me.
Well, you still have the sticky notes.
Different use case though. One, you end up with way too many ideas and not enough focus and not enough alignment. 2, it's the loudest voices that dominate. And sometimes the smartest voices and ideas remain dormant. Yeah. And 3, the planning process just takes forever. So I was looking down at my sticky note one day and I saw, how can AI help me do this? It started with us writing crit in the room, and we have evolved it significantly to the point we've built our own AI model for this that we've even patented. Here's what we did for a company. Same use case. They wanted to define future competitive advantage, like future strategy. We had 40 leaders in the room. This is for a Fortune 500. And we pre-architected the prompt with all the legacy information about the company, what the executive team had been thinking was the Blue Ocean strategy, like all that stuff. And then every person just opens up their computer and just clicked a button, which executes this complex prompt that was about 5 to 6 pages long on the back end that we had architected. They didn't even need to write the prompt. They just clicked the button. AI interviewed every single person in the room, Geoff, for 15 minutes. Pulling every piece of additional context out of that individual's head, and then it spat out a detailed report of that person's thinking about the future strategy of the company. That alone is way more robust than you could ever do voice to voice, just like interviewing one person at a time. But here's what's crazy. I then clicked one more button and AI read all 40 reports simultaneously and collapsed them. And on the screen, it starts to generate, here's where you're aligned. And it started to list all the places the people in the room were aligned. Here's where you are not aligned. And it started to show all the disparate ideas. And then it said, here's the elephants in the room we really need to surface. Then AI started to drive the meeting. It asked one question to the whole room based on that. For the next 30 minutes straight, AI is asking one question and the microphone is flying around the room. People are speaking their minds. AI is capturing every single word. And after 30 minutes, I hit a button and it processed all of that data and then said, great, based on this, here's the future strategy of the organization. The CEO stood up and goes, that would have normally taken us 3 months.
3 months. Months.
We did it in 1 hour. But every voice was heard and we are actually aligned. So we have completely disrupted how we even hold meetings now, Geoff. Because offsite is just fancy word for meeting. No longer do we show up for a meeting where the person running the meeting asks a question and starts to drive the meeting and one person talks at a time. Nope, that's dead. The person running the meeting architects a prompt that we take the first 5 to 10 minutes of the meeting where everybody just clicks a button and AI interviews that person to pull all their knowledge out of their head that normally would have been shared over the course of a meeting, so that by the end of 5 to 10 minutes, everything's on the table. AI aggregates all of it and then says, great, here's where you're aligned, here's where you're not aligned. Based on that, here's what we should be talking about. And we move the ball into execution way
Are they
faster.
talking or typing? Everybody's got their laptop.
Everybody's
Both.
got their laptop, the thought partner. So we call it it's called a thought partner. That's our
Okay.
AI model. It interviews them. They could be typing back, or they could be doing speech to text back on their computers. And then they all submit it, and then we aggregate it, and then it shows on the screen where we're aligned, where we're not aligned, and then it starts asking the questions that it needs to be asking to help us move the ball in the meeting.